In this video, I'll be going over exactly how to make 2024 your year. This video is mainly going to be about psychology, not really about the technical stuff when it comes to running an e-commerce brand. So I just thought I'd mention that. So if that's not something you're interested in, I guess you could click off. But my recommendation would be to be open-minded, as I myself didn't believe in, the psychology of business, etc. back in the day as well. But after I actually started to implement stuff like this, I realized how important it actually is and what I was missing out on. Mustafa, if you don't know who I am, I'm on a mission to help as many e-commerce brands 10x their profitability and growth. And one of the steps for me to be able to do that is with what I'm about to share with you in this video. So let's get right into it. Alright, so here's how you're going to make 2024 your year, right? I know that's everyone's goal, especially if you have a business. You want to make this next year your next year. If you're messing around in 2023 a little bit, or if you didn't get to a level that you could be at, do it this year, right? That's why I made this document. So let's just go straight through it. What we'll be talking about today is one of the main things people fail to realize when it comes to business is that 90% of the time, you don't really have business problems. You have personal problems that reflect in your business. So if you're at a roadblock and, within your business, that is, and you tried everything possible business-wise to fix that problem and it just hasn't worked, well, in this document, we'll be going over how to fix the personal problems, which I'm talking about, that are reflecting in your business, right? In order to get past those roadblocks in your business, right? You have to remember that it does start all up here. Try to put the brain there, right? So it starts here. Believe me, I didn't believe this at the start as well. This is just me trying to get through to you guys, right? I didn't believe that was the case up until I actually tried it, and it was. And trust me, it does work, right? What I'm about to tell you in this video. Now, two things. If you're here for the more technical side of business, how to run ads or how to build a conversion optimized website, all this sort of stuff, this video has nothing to do with anything like that. It's going to be a bit different, right? So if you're here for that, you can click off now if you want to, but this one's going to be more about mindset. So yeah, but if you're really serious about business, right, and getting to that next level, you would watch this. So just thought I'd point out. The second thing is I do this and I want to mention it, right? And it's the fact that you can play this video at 1.5 speed and you should still be able to understand me and, just make better use of your time, because if you do have a business especially, I know how busy it can be. And me, myself, I usually watch videos, educational videos, etc. on 1.5 times speed. You can understand them still, but it just makes them more time efficient. So yeah. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into it, right? So onto the psychology, which is basically just what this video is going to be about, right? So there's going to be 5 things I'm going to go over. Now, the core principle that you have to understand is that psychology plays a big part in everything you do, including your business. In most people, it's actually what messes them up the most, and it's the fact that they don't really pay attention to the psychology side of things, and they think it doesn't matter, and they think it's just strictly business stuff, right? Or they just don't have the right ad strategy, or their website is just not. Those things can be good, right? But or maybe your team, right? Those things can actually be good, but if you're not good up here, you won't be able to. The best way I can explain it is, you can have everything going well, right? Everything can be in the right place, etc. But especially, so I'm guessing you're the owner of your business, right? You have a team, you have a nice website, you have good ads, right? If your mindset isn't correct, then even if it's working for now, it's only going to be temporary. Down the line, there's going to be a roadblock that your mindset is not going to allow you to go past, and that's what's going to mess things up. So yeah. Now, before we start, right, this is one thing that I want you to understand, and it's the core thing actually, and that is that it doesn't matter what is true, only what you believe is true, because with work, that will become true, right? You need to keep this in mind, note it down somewhere, whatever, because once you truly understand this, everything else just becomes easy, right? If you believe your e-commerce store can be scaled, and obviously you have to put in the work, right? You will scale your e-commerce store. If you don't believe it can scale, and you still put in the same amount of work as, the scenario before, the chances are you won't be able to scale, right? You have to believe it to achieve it. That's the best way I can put it, right? Now, the next thing we have here is feedback loops, and this is basically a circular relationship where cause creates effect, and effect bends back around and feeds back into the cause in a self-fulfilling cycle, right? So this explains why some people feel like they're really unlucky or always seem to have, misfortune within their lives. So if you think negatively, a negative thing will happen, right? And when that negative thing happens, it will lead to you thinking negatively again, and then that will lead to more bad things happening, right? So it's just a continuous, negative downward spiral, as I said here. Whereas if you were to flip that and think positively, right, that positive thinking will lead to a positive outcome, and then that positive outcome will lead to more positive thinking, and then that will lead to more positive outcomes, right? And you'd put yourself then in a positive upward spiral instead, right? So of course it's not going to be as simple as that, because sometimes it's going to be negative, 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 even whilst you are positive, till it flips, and then you'll have the positive upward spiral, right? Sometimes it could take a while. So basically do that instead, right? Think positively, have positive outcomes, and that'll lead to you thinking positive, and it'll put you in an upward spiral. So let's say everything's going well in your business, right? Ride the positive waves as long as they go, and catch negative downward spirals early on, and again, think positively. And so basically to do a little, basically because I'm really good at drawing, I decided to just do a visual representation, right? So if you're having positives, ride it up like this, right? But obviously this is inevitable. It's always, you're gonna always get roadblocks, right? It's inevitable. So you can't just go like this, right? It's gonna be more like this, right? Even if you look at like stock charts, that's how it is, right? Even if it's going up, you always have to have these, when it comes down a little bit. But the important thing is, don't let it go like this, or even worse, like this. What you want to do is, let's get rid of these quickly. What you want to do is, whilst coming down like this, stop it early on, right? You can get a negative outcome, still think positively, which will allow you to go like this, instead of it going like bang like this, and then carrying on down, or going like this. You want to stop it as early on as possible, basically. Right? Now, the next thing I want to go over is duality. And one mistake I see a lot of people make is that they have a binary stance on one true right and wrong, right? The issue is, it's like a pendulum. So if you think of a pendulum, if it goes too far one way, right, it's always going to swing back just as hard the other way. So this is why it's always important to always be in the middle when it comes to things, and not pick specific sides, right? On basically any topic, to be honest. A great example of this is that we can apply to e-commerce, is that if you believe that only one thing that's important is running really good ads, right, and nothing else matters, right, but then you're eventually going to be forced to change that view, as other things also play a huge role when it comes to getting sales, like how optimized your website is for conversions, right? Especially when you're trying to scale, that is going to come up. So if you have a belief that it's only about running good ads, etc., then you're going to be in for a rude awakening, right? And then you're going to have to be forced to face the dark, as it says up here, right? So when you grow tired of what's in the light, you must face what's in the dark. Or maybe you think that only one ad platform works and the others don't, right? Which is quite common as well. And the same thing applies here, right? You soon enough realize that when it comes to scaling, you're probably going to have to use more than one ad platform, right? And you might even find out that one works better. But yeah, so that's quite important as well. Now, the next one is the imposter syndrome, and a lot of people in business get this, and they think that it means that they're doing something wrong, when in reality it's actually quite the opposite. So you should feel like you're an imposter if you're trying to become the person that deserves the success you're after, right? Because the current you doesn't deserve it, otherwise you'd already achieved it. If you don't get imposter syndrome, that's just saying that you aren't pushing yourself enough, or leveling up enough to get the success that you're after, right? Remember that as humans, we are constantly in conflict between the person that we are right now and the person that we want to become, right? Nothing is static, and everything in this universe is forever becoming. So the real question is, who am I becoming, or who are you becoming, right? To put that in there. So what that basically means is, if you have imposter syndrome, you're probably doing something right. If you don't, and that means you're not stepping out of your comfort zone, which would then explain why you can't progress in business, right? It's because you have to step out of your comfort zone. And if you do have imposter syndrome, that's not a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. It means you stepped out of your comfort zone, and if you continue within this trajectory, then you're going to, reach the level of business that you want to. So the next one's going to be, as you can see right there, save the best for last, and it's a hack to achieve all your goals, right? Whatever your goals is, not just for business, but this is going to be for business mainly. So when it comes to achieving our goals, we frame it in completely the wrong way. This is what I've realized, right? You need to make your goals your irrefutable standards in order to have the highest chance of achieving them. So your goals, instead of placing it up here and being like, okay, I need to achieve that. No, you need to make it your basic standard. Like that just has to be your standard. Your goal has to be your standard, right? And I'll explain exactly why. We are not the highest version of ourselves, which we can imagine. We are the lowest version of ourselves, which we can accept, right? So just by making a little shift in your mindset about, the way you view your goals, will be the difference between you doing nothing to achieve them, or you find like hell to not reach your standards, which would obviously be your goals as you make your goals your standards. So to put it simply, if you just take your goals, instead of making it some dreamy thing that you have up here and you place on a pedestal, you usually don't act. Even if you do, right? Even if you take action, you don't take as much action as you would if it was just your standard, right? If you take it from your pedestal up here and you're like, okay, no, this is the bare minimum for me, then the way you fight to achieve your goals then, which is your standards, is completely different than if it was just your goals, right? Which is why I say this for last, right? I hope these help, right? If you're looking at this all and you're like, what a bunch of BS, right? Because I was there, I was in your shoes. Because you're like, mindset, why does that even matter? As long as I just do all the right things in business, do this, get this ad sorted, make my website look like this, all this, right? Everything should be fine, which, I mean, I understand your viewpoint, but what I'd say is give it a shot, right? This isn't the only mindset thing there, right? There's a lot of mindset things you can look into. This is like a starter for you guys. There's a lot of videos out there that you can look into when it comes to mindset, and just try it out for a month, 2 months, this time, and see if it does help, right? And I can guarantee you will, and you'll come back to this video thanking me. So yeah, that's it for this tool. And if you're into more technical stuff, you want to learn more about that, I do have those up on my channel as well. You can go check those out. But yeah, so that's that. If you happen to need help scaling your e-commerce store's revenue and more importantly, your profitability, there's a link in the description that you can click. For full transparency, it is a video via cell funnel of me trying to sell you something. So only go there if you want to. You don't have to. I don't really mind if you click it or not. What I care about is that you're able to scale your business with the videos that I post on this channel. But feel free to check it out if you feel stuck trying to scale your store. But that's all for this video. If you liked it, there's a button for that. Comment any video ideas or requests that you have down below as well. And subscribe for more content that will keep you engaged to the end. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching till the end, and have a great day.